gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jinquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo. Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jinquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me. I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. I'm Jinquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jinquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, we have to talk about it. We got to talk about it, bro. Charlie Kirk is dead. Straight up. He's dead. There's no surviving the shot that he took. I seen the video. He's dead. It's an instant kill. Like, instant kill. And they're saying, let's see. They're saying that he was shot probably about 200 yards away. That's what the reporting is coming out. And one thing that I can say is it wasn't us. Okay? It was not the bruz. Okay? So we are eliminated out of this conversation. Thank God. When I heard of it, I was like, oh, shit. Like, where was he when he got shot? Was he just in the street? He got carjacked and then boom, boom, bap. Was it something like that? No. This man was straight assassinated. Like, this shot that was taken was a kill shot, intentional, now, you know, there are liberal news media saying, oh, well, he could have been a supporter. He was a supporter that, you know, he was a supporter that that accidentally shot off a celebration round. Nah, B. Celebration rounds are in the air. That was straight targeted. It was a straight hit. It was a straight hit. Like, bruh was clapped. And I can't even show the images. I can't even show the picture. Can't even show the video. And the part that he got shot at, he was literally talking about gang violence. He was literally talking about gang violence. And, you know, obviously that's a issue. But we don't talk about the other type of violence. These, I mean, people are going to say it's a radical liberal, radical leftist, that a lunatic. I don't know. We don't know yet. But, I mean, we do know it's an old white dude. And this guy, we'll just show who he is really quickly. I mean, all I can say is it wasn't us. It wasn't us. And I'm very thankful for that. Because, oh my God, the fucking the white supremacist, nationalists, whatever you want to call them, they would have had a field day on X, bro. If this was, and obviously this is not you know, this is a very heavy topic, but we have to bring some comedic levity to this because it's a very serious topic. And we're talking about the violence in American society in general. Obviously, my channel focuses on the Black aspect because, hey, I'm Black. So I feel like, you know, I can talk about that. But in this case, we have what appears to be some radical white dude who politically radical, whatever you want to call it. And obviously I mean, Charlie Kirk was pretty much, it was completely, oh, they're saying he's stable. Temple stays he's stable. Shit, I don't know if I believe that. I don't know. Critical condition. People are saying, look, bruh, I saw the video, the amount of blood that he lost. I don't know how somebody could get to him that quickly to stop the waterfall of blood that was coming out of his neck. And there are people celebrating his death already. There are people celebrating his death already. This man is dead, bro. I mean, I don't want to jump the gun, but he was leaking like a water faucet, like a leaky sink, like you had a pipe burst. He was leaking. He was drenched. I'm talking about a pool of blood. This is bad. This is bad. But we do have the leftists on TikTok, and they are rejoicing right now, as you guys can see. All right, we can't play this music, but it says first Nepal and now Charlie Kirk shot in Utah. Is something happening? Nepal. And he's happy. Charlie Kirk shot. You have this obese sister here with all these piercings. I mean, I didn't even like Charlie Kirk because he was talking a whole bunch of jazz about MLK. And I'm like, bro, if you believe the FBI files from back then with all the controversy that we're seeing now, and you don't believe the FBI when it's a Biden administration FBI, right? But you're believing the FBI back then. I mean, it's a whole different discussion. It's a whole different discussion. But it's like, it's crazy because I'm not trusting J. Edgar Hoover's FBI because he was a cross-dressing homosexual. So we want to talk about liberals lie, liberals do this. I mean, Hoover is, I mean, straight up, he's a cross-dressing homosexual. Like, come on. So if you don't believe the FBI now when it's Joe Biden's FBI, then how can you believe the FBI back then when they were way more corrupt on different levels? So, you know, I kind of fell back on the Charlie Kirk shit after, you know, he was talking a lot of jazz about MLK, but nobody deserves this. But he had a lot of enemies. You have to realize he had a lot of enemies. A lot of enemies. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's very sad. He had a family. He had a wife. He had children. That was his freedom of speech being on display, and somebody didn't like it. He's gone. He's gone. Now we got KSL News Utah reporting on the matter. Actually, let me finish that video of the liberals celebrating Charlie Kirk's death because I think it's important. Like I said, I had disagreements with Charlie Kirk. I wasn't a big fan. You know, I made fun of him on Twitter. I called him Charlie Cook. You know, we had fun with him. But at the end of the day, I do not support this level of violence, and I don't support the mocking of his death. Now, we are going to talk about it, and we're going to be very real about it, but we're not going to do any mocking. And obviously, if you're a comment warrior and you say, you know, you got to live with that. I'm not into blocking or censoring and stuff like that. But whoo, I mean, when I saw that he got shot, I was like, damn, that sucks. Like, that's not cool at all, bro. But here we go. When you've been manifesting for it to happen, but it ends up happening to Charlie Kirk. So she's referencing, oh, I'm manifesting Donald Trump to be hurt in this way. But it happened to Charlie Kirk. She's like, oh, well, she got the emoji, the whelp emoji. This is your modern women, folks. And they hated him because he was telling them to have babies and shit. You know, these hoes don't like to be told what to do. Charlie Kirk was just a gunshot or was just shot in the neck at a Utah event. And she's saying, yes, yes. L. She's saying L. Holy shit, man. These people. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Wow. Yeah, so we're going to skip through this broadcast, but KSL News has a live broadcast on this right now. Let's tune in. We'll give some commentary as well.
Tell us what you saw, what you experienced today.
It was just shortly after he had started his second speech. Everything was going great. Everyone was, you know, getting along and happy and everything. And then we just heard one shot. It didn't sound like it was a very high caliber. It sounded like a smaller one. But my wife immediately fell, but I saw.
Okay, so they're saying it was a small caliber. It was a small caliber firearm. I thought he got sniped. I thought it was a rifle. Somebody shot him from afar. It looked, but if it was a small caliber, that means they had to shoot it. Well, I mean, they could have shot a pea shooter. That too. Shout out to Deshaun with the $5 super trap. He says, salute Black Gen Z mindset in chat. Prayers to Charlie Kirk and family. The libs and leftists are all sick for celebrating this disgusting act.
Oh, say less.
Man, I agree. You can't, no matter what you disagree with the guy, you just, it's not right to celebrate his death. But yeah, we got reports from the ground. Let's listen up.
And he definitely got shot. It looked like roughly in between his neck and like his collarbone area or somewhere in the neck.
Taylor,
what it looked like, but there was a lot of blood.
Taylor, can you set up the scene for us inside the arena where that speech was taking place as this was happening? What can you?
We got 1,700 people in the building right now, guys. If you are watching on X, make sure you go to YouTube, Black Gen Z Mindset, for a more seamless streaming experience. Again, go to YouTube, Black Gen Z Mindset, for a more seamless streaming experience. This is breaking news. Charlie Kirk has been shot. They're saying, oh, he's stable. Look, bruh, that nigga's dead. I seen the video. I mean, if he's not dead, thank God. But to me, it looked like he's dead.
Tell us about what was going on around you.
Everything was great. Everybody was getting along, and there was two crowds there that were from a different perspective or view that were screaming and yelling a lot. But besides that, everybody was getting along. It was great. So, I mean, we all love Charlie. He's amazing.
What happened immediately after you heard that?
So they actually have, I mean, if he survives this, then it's gonna go up for him. But I genuinely don't see him speaking ever again, because that shot went straight through the neck. But they have people on Blue Sky saying, let me know when he is dead. Maybe I'm just a desensitized asshole. This is from Brian W. Kelly. But I'm having a real hard time giving a fuck that Charlie Kirk got shot. Chickens coming home to roost, and so on, to paraphrase Malcolm X. Kevin Wardrop says, if Charlie Kirk reaped what he sowed, good for him. PPP Grifter says, the one thing I will say about Charlie Kirk is that comparatively, I'm having a really great day. Sun is out, lawn is nice. I don't have a hole in my neck. Good times. Wow. Fuck this guy right to hell. Sorry, not sorry. LOL at people crying about people LOLing at Charlie Kirk. Fuck Charlie Kirk and LOL at Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was a worthless cunt and is in hell. Prayers down. So the leftists think he's dead. They got their shit. They feel like they hit their mark. They feel like they killed him. Prayers down for Charlie Kirk. Where was the good guy with a gun? I don't care. I don't care. Kevin Tompkins says, sending my oh no, and that's a shame out to Charlie Kirk at this difficult time. Julian Love is Love says, sorry, I don't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk or anybody else who pushes extreme right-wing propaganda. Live by the gun, die by the gun, enjoy hell. Headline says, fascist rabble rouser Charlie Kirk shot while on stage somewhere. Thoughts and prayers. Hell, I don't give a shit what happens to that trash. The right are calling for war online in the comment section. War's not going to happen. Tomorrow's it's going to be the same as yesterday, unfortunately. But I think this is a warning shot to anybody who speaks on campus, anybody who speaks in public like this. Steven Crowder knew when to get the hell out. Like, he don't do that change my mind shit no more, because he probably started figuring out how dangerous it was and how mortal he was, with his whole heart thing going on. And now you have Charlie Kirk shot and killed, I believe. I believe he's dead. Because there's no way you survive that shot, man. There's no way. But if he does, then, hey, man, that nigga's like 50 Cent. I'll give him all the respect in the world. And I don't give a flying fuck if it makes me a bad person. If I laughed the breaking news of Charlie Kirk. Baby, that video to Hulk Hogan might be greeting his ass in hell. Damn. Charlie Kirk, who advocates for guns everywhere, got exactly what he deserves. Damn. Yeah, man. I mean, y'all know I'm a Second Amendment guy, and I like my guns, but hell, some people do not deserve them. But it's like, how do you even know who deserves them and who doesn't? Okay, they're saying he's alive in critical condition. Bruh, that nigga's dead. I'm just going to go ahead and call it critical condition, lost a lot of blood. I mean, how are you patching that up? How are you patching that up? I mean, damn, I have no sympathy or thoughts and prayers for that hate-spewing narcissist, Charlie Kirk. No sympathy for Charlie Kirk. He's always been a hateful person, spewing complete and utter bullshit about women, minorities, and hate. Like I said, guys, he's got a lot of enemies. He's got a shit ton of enemies. And I told you, before, social media, the way that social media works and how quickly things spread. And then if he's responding to people, you have no idea who he's responding to. You know, he has no idea who he's responding to. These people are crazy. And you got to have a strap on you, and you got to have security. And if you're going to speak publicly, he was getting a bag. You got to have that bulletproof casing. You got to have that clear bulletproof casing. But then again, it would make it would go contrary to his whole Second Amendment argument. It's just the whole thing is wonky, and the world is a dangerous place. It's so crazy. 2025 is absolutely insane right now. 2025 is absolutely insane right now. And just the sheer hatred going on online from all channels. I hate to see it. I really do. It's from all channels. And, obviously you have to speak truth about certain topics, certain things, and that's still going to continue. But man, it's some angry people in this world, and you say one thing that they don't like, and they feel that much anger towards you. You have no idea, man. They're saying, how could he have made it to the hospital the way he was bleeding? Yeah, I don't know. You would have had to stuff a big fat ass sock in his neck, because all the blood drained. I mean, I'm watching the video right now. I have the video on my phone. I'm watching the video. Yeah, he's no longer with us, y'all. He's no longer with us. Trump just called for prayers for Charlie Kirk. The liberals continue to, bash Charlie Kirk. I support shooting Charlie Kirk, as well as anyone who doesn't support shooting Charlie Kirk. Whoa. Republican Senator Mike Lee of Utah asked for thoughts and prayers for conservative activist Charlie Kirk, who was shot at a Nazi Republican event in Utah. So it looks like the left got their way. I mean, I people are talking about civil war, this, that, and the third. Bro, I just don't understand how there's a civil war, because it's not going to be just black versus white, or black versus Mexican, or white versus black, Mexican, and all people of color. Because you have this white dude here who literally just shot Charlie Kirk. Like, he's a major, I mean, I don't want to attribute any political, but this definitely looks and feels political, like he disagreed with Charlie Kirk. And I just don't see how you identify these people. Dude, the guy who shot him, again, the guy who shot him looks like he would support Charlie Kirk. Right? I mean, come on. The guy who shot him looks like he would support Charlie Kirk. How do you identify these people? How do you identify these people? I mean, I just don't understand how you can identify these people. I really don't. Because this dude looks like, I don't know, he looks like my doctor or some shit. Right? Like, it wasn't us. It wasn't a black man who was mad at Charlie Kirk for being racist. It wasn't any of that. Yeah. Shout out to Sean Zemo. He says Tim Waltz looking ass. Yeah, he looks like Tim Waltz. He looks like Tim Waltz. He looks like he voted for Trump. So I just don't see how you're identifying these people. People talking about civil war. How? I just don't get it.
Sound, I imagine it was pretty chaotic.
It was very chaotic.
Yeah, they're saying critical condition. And there were, posts about him being at his rally thing. There's video of him having fun right before he's doing this. The shot came from, it looks like it came from his left. Front left. It looked like it came from front left. So I would say from his perspective, it looks like the shot came from about 10 o'clock. Maybe 11. because it was I'm just saying as far as the trajectory goes. Yeah, so we got a lot of people taunting him. I don't think it's a place for that, to taunt him, but we will acknowledge, what people are saying, what the temperature is. And yeah, let's see. Somebody says Charlie Kirk getting shot by a white guy would be some kind of irony, and he was shot by a white guy. They're saying he's reportedly stabilized in a hospital, is taking his blood now. Oh, well, it looks like he is not dead, allegedly. That's 8 minutes ago, but I just don't see it. To me, it looks like he's dead. But, if he's not, we'll change the headline. But yeah, it's really bad.
But yeah, the biggest fear was my wife at first.
Now, luckily, it could have just went through and through. It could have just went straight through, didn't hit the jugular, because it was on it was like the left meat. Boom, hit through here. A lot of blood, straight through. But he survived, possibly.
There was a whole lot of just fear and sadness, and
Sure.
mass
Sure.
destruction. I guess everybody just freaking out, trying to take care of their own, and we're all trying to help everyone else. Everybody hunkered together and we got out of there safe. So.
And I'm sorry, Taylor, was it an outdoor event?
Yes, it was.
It was an outdoor event. We're looking now at video posted on social media. You can feel the chaos that Taylor described. We're talking to Taylor Birmingham. He was one of those spectators in the audience with his wife when shots were fired and chaos ensued.
Wow. And here's the crowd here. They're posting old articles of Newsweek. There's a Newsweek article. They're using it to take shots to get at them. Charlie Kirk says gun deaths unfortunately worth it to keep Second Amendment. April 6, 2023. And we know the majority of people who have guns aren't using them in this way, but it's getting bad. It is getting bad. And I don't know. I don't know the solution. That's why I say no solutions. KNOW solutions. # no solutions. Because I have no clue, but you have to learn them. You have to figure out what is actually going to work. People are saying critical condition. Look, bruh, I saw the video. It looks like he was dead, but I don't know. He may not be.
Taylor, tell us about how many people do you think were there for this speech, for this event outdoors?
Oh, there were hundreds. Like he even mentioned, it's one of his biggest crowds. I would say there was at least 2,000 to 3,000, maybe more.
But a couple of times you've referenced sort of a calm atmosphere. We know there was some controversy surrounding this particular event, this speaker specifically, but you described the crowd as pretty well-mannered up to this point.
Absolutely, yeah. Besides, there was a couple of groups that were not well-mannered at all, and any topic or anything that was brought up, they were shouting like F Charlie, and they were shouting, like anything against any religion or anything. They were screaming and yelling and booing.
Did you notice a significant police presence?
Police presence?
Yeah, during the speech, during the event?
Yeah, the police were absolutely amazing during this. They were.
Damn, he had police. That's why I'm saying this shot had to come from afar. But it looked like where they apprehended him was somewhere within the crowd, maybe, or maybe in the offskirts of the crowd.
Absolutely incredible, and jumped right into action.
But yeah, we do have more taunting. This is from Mike Bags. He's a blue check mark on X, if that means anything to you. He says, Charlie Kirk was shot today by a fellow white. Can we now talk about the violent white on white crime that plagues the white communities in America? So, taking shots at the other side. Is it crude? Is it crass? Yes. Is it ironic? Very much so. It's just, I would have never guessed that for today. And I've been having a rough day, but I would have never guessed that for today.
I say thanks to every one of them.
And Taylor, as this event was going on, or prior to him, to the speaker coming on and giving the talk, was there any mention about security or conduct, anything like that?
I don't. Not that we kind of came in like right as it was starting, so I guess we wouldn't have heard any of that. But.
And you said the two groups that got a little unruly. Do you know where they were located? It seems you were facing the stage. The crowd was facing the stage, and it was a large group. It was a large crowd. Could you tell where those protesters were stationed or set up?
Yeah, there was some that were. I actually have video of showing.
25 minutes ago, Charlie Kirk was in critical condition
when they were screaming and yelling. And they were right above us up on the balcony, and I turned my camera and looked at them, and then looked over.
Dan Bilzerian has confirmed 33 minutes ago that Charlie Kirk has passed away. Yeah, there's no surviving that.
But the other crowd as well.
Like I said, I'm reporting that he's dead. 2 hours ago, he posted about Irina Zarutska, a story that we did as well. Man.
One crowd was more closer to like directly in the line of where that could have came from by chance. The others were not. The others were behind him.
Yeah, hard to tell, obviously, in moments like that when the crowds are big and the sounds are echoing and bouncing off. Interesting to note that the levels that you described there with spectators watching from.
And like the moment he was shot, it was like he was talking about gang violence. I could probably show this video because it's not up close. But I genuinely believe the gang violence issue is so easy to solve. I mean, we see examples of it. Like niggas are really scared of that military presence. Niggas are like, yeah, niggas ain't scared to go to jail, but they really are scared to go to jail. Like obviously, you know, they're not gonna crash out when you got hella police in the street, military in the street. Like they're, you know, patrolling the streets. I mean, you can significantly decrease the amount of, they're just not doing it. And the repeat offenders are letting the repeat offenders go. I think that problem is very easy to solve. You know, people are saying he's alive, Look, man, I don't know. I don't think so, though. To me, they're saying he's in critical condition. That's all I'm seeing. All I see is the critical condition. So let's keep going.
Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Woo! So you heard that. Somebody said, do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America? And then he asked, counting or not counting gang violence? And then he got clapped.
This is it. Yeah, is that fair to say? All right, great. So do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Too many. Okay.
So the question was, do you know how many transgender, you know, whatever, people have been mass shooters within the last 2 years? He says too many. Whew. Ouch.
It's 5. Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been?
So the guy says 5
in America.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America? And then he's gonna ask, counting gang violence or not counting gang violence, I think.
Over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence.
And you can see he was real confident because he's putting the mic down, then he's picking it up, and he's putting it down. That's a swagger. Like he has built a little swagger for himself.
I'm going to give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence. Great.
Wow. Hey.
Get down.
Damn.
What the fuck? No.
So I'm trying to see the tent. I was trying to look at the tent. Yeah, man. Y'all aren't seeing the angle that I saw, but I don't think he's alive from that, honestly. I genuinely do not believe that he is alive from that at all. I really don't.
Heightened vantage point as well. Taylor Birmingham, thank you so much. We appreciate you jumping on the line with us and sharing your experience. Glad you're safe, glad you're okay, and thank you for sharing your experience.
Thank you.
Senator Mike Lee posting a tweet in the last half hour saying, quote, I am tracking the situation at Utah Valley University closely. Please join me in praying for Charlie Kirk and the students gathered there.
We're showing you kind of a repeat of a video posted on social media, and social media is lighting up right now, as you might imagine. Charlie Kirk was the scheduled speaker at UVU today. He's an American right-wing political activist, an author, a media personality. There was a lot of attention given toward this particular speech.
Yeah. It sounds like we are getting some witness accounts that we want to make sure that you're aware of. Are we going to?
We have Jason. He's a former officer. He's joining us on the phone. He was just 5 feet away from this event when it happened. Jason, thank you. Obviously, you have a professional eye on a situation like this as well. Were you working today or just there to observe?
No, I was just there to have fun and immerse myself in Mr. Kirk's dialogue. I had retired from the law enforcement back in June. I was just there having fun.
Yeah, describe to us what you saw.
Well, all right, guys, we have 4,000 people in the building. If you're watching on X, make sure you go to Black Gen Z Mindset on YouTube, Black Gen Z Mindset on YouTube for a better streaming experience.
After the first speaker, there was somebody that came up. I forgot what she was asking about. And about halfway through her first her first question, I heard a shot come out, and I looked directly over at Charlie, and he kind of fell backwards into the chair, and just all of his Secret Service guy, I don't know if they're Secret Service or whatever, they all climbed on top of him and rushed him out. And then I started doing gang control. I was like, hey, get out of here, get out. You guys got to get out of here.
Your instincts kicked in, no doubt. So he wasn't speaking.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk wasn't speaking, but was seated on the stage.
He was seating on the...
So here's a video of them rushing him to the hospital. They got him, I don't know, bro. It looked like he was 10 to 20 minutes of losing blood from his neck. 10 to 20 minutes of losing blood from his neck. Here's a video of them rushing him to the hospital.
Stop! Stop, folks! Stop! Easy! Amy, go! Stop! Stop, folks! Stop!
Bro, there's literally no way he's alive. They're carrying his limp body. Bro, he's still bleeding. Nobody's stopping the bleeding.
Stop! Stop, folks! Stop! Easy! Amy, go!
But if he does survive, I do believe that he might change his tune on the gun shit for real. I do believe he might change his tune on the gun shit. I mean, I don't see how you don't, right? I don't see how you don't. 19 minutes ago, Charlie Kirk in critical condition, receiving blood transfusions. Look, man, they gonna try as hard as they can. We got another, apparently there's another, maybe, let's see. At the school, most students were evacuated already and are reuniting with the parents. Okay. Oh, there's a shooting at Evergreen High School in Colorado. 2 students reportedly been shot and are being taken to the hospital. Look, man. Boy, they about to take these guns, boy. I'm telling you, right? I mean, maybe not. I mean, niggas get shot every day, B, right? But woo, I mean, this is, I don't think our society, like, it's just, we have so many crazy people who aren't making money, who have nothing to live for. I don't know, man. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah, you got a lot of people reporting that he is dead, though. A lot of people reporting he's you know, what the hell? Hold up.
The stage at the time the shot rang out. Yeah.
So, Jason, with your background in law enforcement, tell us what you noticed as far as the law enforcement presence there. Did it seem like there was heightened security?
They had a lot of security people. They had undercovers in the audience that I saw after the fact. They had their weapons drawn, looking for a suspect and stuff like that. He obviously had his own security detail, but as far as uniform officers, yeah, I was talking to some of them underneath the bridge there, where Charlie Kirk was coming out. I was talking to some of them, and yeah, it looked pretty safe to me.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned your
I mean, it did look safe. There was a lot of police presence. There were a lot of people, but looking safe and actually being safe ain't the same thing.
instincts kind of jumping in, and your sharp eye took in a lot. We're seeing video now of a suspect who was arrested. It would appear that happened fairly quickly. Can you describe what happened after those shots rang out?
So there was only one shot that I heard, the one shot, and I did see that same guy in a blue shirt in handcuffs over by the was it the north side of the complex where it was. So I did see that same guy in custody. I don't know if that was a shooter or not, but it sounded like the shooter was pretty close to the front row.
Yeah. How would you describe the mood prior to that shot?
Oh, the mood prior, before everything happened, it was absolutely amazing. The crowd was very cheerful, very positive. It was doing just like a normal Charlie Kirk rally.
Yeah.
Have you attended one before?
Started off on a good foot. We had the first.
Yeah, Tim Pool saying Charlie Kirk is stable. New York Post says Charlie Kirk in critical condition. Everybody's saying critical condition. I don't know. I don't know.
Come in and talk and did very well, and then they moved on, and then the second person came in, and
Dan Bilzerian is making the call. See, people are like, why are you saying he's dead? Bruh, I saw the fucking video for one. He's dead. Dan Bilzerian said somebody close to the family told him that he's dead. I don't think Dan Bilzerian would lie like that, bruh.
Yeah, I think it cut out. Yeah, a friend of mine that's close to the family said he didn't make it.
That's horrible. What? So he didn't make it.
That's what they said.
Most likely not. Look at the video. The entrance wound is huge.
Exactly. Like y'all talking about, oh, he's not dead, bruh. Shut the fuck up. I know what I'm talking about, nigga. I done seen niggas get shot. I done seen the video of niggas getting shot. I done seen niggas getting shot in person. I saw him get shot in the neck and he was leaking, nigga. It looked like a faucet. It looked like one of them pool jets. You know, the jets in the damn the hot tub. Bro, there's no way. And then he was laying there for 5-10 minutes. And then they lifted his limp body up in the car 10 minutes. And then they had to get him to the hospital another 10 minutes. Nigga, 30 minutes leaking blood. Nobody stopped the bleeding. Bruh, he's dead.
Like, look at the hole that it leaves in his neck.
Dan, have you got any other information?
No, that's all I was told was that he didn't make it.
Woo! Shit. You got MSNBC justifying the shooting, saying you can't say these awful words and expect and not expect awful actions. Let's listen up. Let's listen up.
Then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place. And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
Turning Point USA has confirmed that he was shot. And there are a number of
then lead to.
I mean, he didn't say nothing wrong. When you're talking that talk, when you talking that shit, even me, when I'm talking that shit, nigga, you don't think I go out strapped as fuck? At least if I get shot, I'ma shoot back. You dig? But yeah, shout out to AK. He says, scary, his last words were gang violence. See, that's why y'all don't see me on no soapbox, like, you know, trying to talk about some going and debating liberals and hell nah, nigga. I'm not about to debate these YNs. I'm not about to debate these Supergrim. I'm not about to debate nobody about nothing. It is what it is. I want an issue to stop, and it ain't stopping, so I got to keep covering the issue. To me, that's what it is. But I ain't got to prove nothing. I don't have to win no debate. I don't have to sit up here and say, yeah, man, because, change my mind. I don't have to do none of that. The proof is in the pudding. You can watch the channel every day. I do a story every day. I could do 6-7 stories every day if I had the bandwidth. I don't. But I'm shit, nigga. If I was getting paid as much as Charlie Kirk, you'll see my black ass up here making some 5-6 videos every day. Trust. And it's gonna be, I'm gonna be showing everything. So I mean, what he, people can say he was mocking him. What he said was not wrong. When you are saying these things, you have to stand up to them. You do. That's just a fact. And you got to move, like, once you're getting this type of limelight, this public limelight, nigga, you got to move like a boss. I'm talking about bulletproof vest. I'm talking about, bulletproof glass casing at events. That's how you got to be. And your security can stand outside the glass casing. So somebody thinks Charlie is a Nazi and they kill him. That's the story. Yo, America is cooked, bruh. America is cooked, bruh. Hug your kids, hug your grandparents, hug your family. This country is fucked.
That's when the shots rang out. Or the shot rang out.
Jason, had you attended any one of his events before? Any of his speeches before?
No, I had tried to get in one time, but I had missed it. So, no, this was the first Charlie Kirk one that I've been to.
Well, Jason, we appreciate it. Thank you for jumping on the line with us. That's Jason, a retired law enforcement.
Hey, if you're watching on X, make sure you go and hit that follow button. Go ahead and follow the channel. I talk about this type of stuff all the time, not just Charlie Kirk, but other news events. Let's see. I'm about to pin the live stream to my profile, so just follow the channel here. Also go to YouTube, Black Gen Z Mindset.
Officer who was there as just a spectator taking in this Charlie Kirk speech, this event at Utah Valley University. And you can see through these social media videos just how quickly it became a chaotic scene.
Vice President J.D. Vance reacted to the shooting by posting on X, quote, "Say a prayer for Charlie Kirk, a genuinely good guy and a young father."
Charlie Kirk is a 31-year-old American right-wing political activist. He's an author. He's a media personality. And there was a lot of attention around this speech and this event. This video is the newest that we've seen. Of course, social media being flooded right now with different accounts and videos. But this shows the man in the blue shirt that you heard Jason describe that was taken into custody, it would appear fairly quickly, and escorted off by a group of officers.
And Jason had mentioned.
All right, so the shooter has been identified. The shooter has allegedly been identified as allegedly George Zinn, who was charged with terroristic threats for an email sent to the Salt Lake City Marathon in 2013. So, there you have it. Old white dude, had prior charges, terroristic threats. You know, can we say, oh, well, he slipped through the cracks? I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to call. But definitely he shouldn't have had the ability to purchase a legal firearm if he was doing terroristic threats. So where did he get this firearm? How did he get the firearm? Those are questions that inquiring minds would like to know. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, man. Charlie Kirk is dead. He is dead. He's done for. It's over. You know, I don't know. But oh, they got a video of the arrest. Yeah, prayers up to his family. Prayers up to his family. Like I said, man, bruh, this shit ain't worth it. It really isn't.
That's the right to remain silent.
So here he is.
That's the right to remain silent.
Did his ass said I got the right to remain silent?
That's the right to remain silent.
Oh yeah, he said he ain't saying shit. Boy, you ain't finna get nothing out that man. You ain't finna get nothing out that man. Lord have mercy. Yeah, but people talking about, oh, civil war. Ain't no fucking civil war about to happen. Everybody's about to go back to their crib. Yeah, he's done. He is done, bro. We have another woman who is critical of Charlie Kirk. She says, maybe Charlie Kirk shouldn't have spent years being a hateful, demagogic fascist, and this wouldn't have happened. Maybe he should take some personal responsibility. She says, fuck these people. I do not care. They have grifted tirelessly for years to tear this country apart, make everything worse, and put us all in danger. Charlie Kirk wouldn't piss on you to put you out if you were on fire. An evil man who sold his humanity a long time ago. Yeah, so she's going in on Charlie Kirk. She says all his sycophantic little fans should stand by y'all's principles. This is the world y'all wanted. Y'all started everything, and now you want to cry. All of you are weak. And here's the statement where he said the gun deaths are worth having the gun. So we'll listen up here.
Now, we must also be real. We must be honest with the population. Having an armed citizenry comes with a price. And that is part of liberty. Driving comes with a price. 50,000 people die on the road every year. That's a price. You get rid of driving, you'd have 50,000 less auto fatalities. But we have decided that the benefit of driving, speed, accessibility, mobility, having products, services, is worth the cost of 50,000 people dying on the road. Wow. So we need to be very clear that you're not going to get gun deaths to zero. It will not happen. Right. You can significantly reduce them through having more fathers in the home, yes, by having more armed guards in front of schools. Yes. We should have an honest and clear reductionist view of gun violence, but we should not have a utopian one. You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe. So then how do you reduce? Very simple. People say, oh, Charlie, how do you stop school shootings? I don't know. How did we stop shootings at baseball games? Because we have armed guards outside of baseball games. That's why. How do we stop all the shootings at airports? We have armed guards outside of airports. How do we stop all the shootings at banks? We have armed guards outside of banks. How do we stop all the shootings at gun shows? Notice there's not a lot of mass shootings at gun shows. There's all these guns because everyone's armed. Now,
ouch, man. And these words coming back to haunt him. He had all the armed guards, had the police, had his own private security, and yet still, boom. Because, I mean, a gun is instant. And I'm not trying to say I got the solution. Hell, I'm responsible with my guns. I like my guns. I like having my guns. But damn. Like, I think we have an insane populace, honestly. I think we have an insane populace. Here's some more liberals celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Let's listen up. Me scrolling through Twitter threads.
A lot of people
of Charlie Kirk getting killed.
that are like, no matter what side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to someone. I, on the other hand, do cheer when bad things happen to bad people.
Charlie Kirk just got shot. Well, breaking fucking news, folks. Seems somebody just took a shot at one of the Fanta-Fascist's favorite 5-mile wide mouthpieces, Charles Chucklefuck Kirk.
God damn. God damn. That was fucked up, but that was, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. The chuckle fuck, what the fuck did he say? Chuckle fuck? That shit was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. He snapped on that. Respectfully. 2 children have been injured after a shooting unfolded at a high school in Colorado. Local fire departments. Okay, they're injured. They're not dead though, so I'm sorry, but this story leads. Yeah, Charlie Kirk is done. Let's see. Let's keep showing the video there. The news is actually showing the video of get him rushed to the
mentioned that he heard at least one shot, but
no, this is the arrest.
Prior to that shot, he says it was, not a lot of really going on, nothing that would lead him to believe something of this magnitude would happen. This was his first time attending this type of event. In speaking to our prior caller, someone who was there, Taylor, he said about 2,000 to 3,000 people were there. And then as we saw from video there, things got very chaotic.
We're now receiving confirmation that Charlie Kirk was the individual shot at this event at Utah Valley University today. Turning Point USA confirming that that is a company owned by Charlie Kirk. So we can take that as reputable information. It's what everyone assumed. Now we can confirm. We don't have an exact timeline. Obviously, this is just unfolding.
Damn. So the New York Times, the police have determined that a person who was taken into custody after the shooting was not actually the shooter, according to Scott Trotter. I don't know. So the white dude who was taken into custody isn't the shooter, is what they're potentially saying. Damn. So maybe it was the trans you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I was saying. I was like, bro, he looks too close to the crowd to have been the shooter. But yeah, Charlie Kirk definitely said a lot of things that, rubbed people the wrong way, and he had a lot of enemies.
In the moment. However, we're told that the shot rang out during the first speech. Charlie Kirk himself had not even taken the podium. He was seated on the stage, and someone was introducing him when that shot went out.
As you can imagine, we are getting several reaction on social media. FBI Director Kash Patel had this to say about the situation, posting on X, quote, "We are closely monitoring reports of the tragic shooting involving Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Our thoughts are with Charlie, his loved ones, and everyone affected. Agents will be on the scene quickly, and the FBI stands in full support of the ongoing response and investigation." And again, if you are just joining us, Turning Point Academy, Charlie Kirk's company, has confirmed that he was, in fact, the person shot at Utah Valley University today.
The video you're seeing, of course, is very chaotic, but prior to this, spectators describe it as a fairly calm event. There were a couple of pockets of people that were shouting out at various points during the event, but other than that, it was a fairly calm scene. Police.
Wow, man. Alex Jones is saying that Charlie Kirk is feared to have been dead. There's literally no way he survived that. No way he survived that. I don't believe it. And if he did, so if somebody pops up next week and says, "Oh, well, Charlie Kirk is back," it's a clone, bruh. No, I'm just kidding. But there's no way he survived it.
Less than an hour ago, Charlie Kirk was out in Utah at a major university, thousands of people in attendance, and they say they have an older man in custody. You see Charlie shot. You see a big concussion. Maybe it's a bulletproof vest causing it. Perhaps the bullet then bounced off that one in his carotid artery, but there's blood just spewing everywhere. From what I saw, there are rumors online that he's dead. If he's not dead, it is a miracle. Pray for him and pray for his family.
Right. If he's not dead, it is literally a miracle. Witness claims the alleged shooter yelled, "I'd do it again." Damn.
But I keep explaining, we're in a war. The left has been saying put a bullseye on Trump, a bullseye on his supporters. They've been calling for violence. They know that grand juries are all open. They know they're getting subpoenaed.
Witnesses are saying the guy who was arrested wasn't the shooter.
They know it's all happening, and they're going to false flag. They're going to attack. You saw the guy that worked for Tampon Tim in Minnesota going to the hits and said he was doing it for him. You've got all of this, and then all the brainwashed left out. If somebody's white, stab them, shoot them. Antifa leading all that. This is a plan. So we're in a war. The globalists know what they're doing. And Charlie Kirk, we pray he lives, but if he doesn't, I think they're dead. He is like a Viking king dying with a sword in his hand of information war. Going out to all these places, having these great debates. People say, "Oh, he's not hardcore enough." He's there to get people to wake up, get them to register to vote Republican. That was his role, and he was a champion, and Trump wouldn't have gotten reelected without him. And now he's definitely fought for his life. And when I saw the footage, he's probably made the jump into hyperspace, but I'm not saying that's 100%, but he is feared dead. I'm not scared to be killed when I do public events and things, but I can do so much more digitally or hit and runs just popping up in public. I have no doubt I'd probably be dead or been shot, at least wounded, if I announced things that what Charlie did. That's why I strategically didn't do it. And not out of fear of getting shot, I just was like, I can do so much more writing and covering things and videos. Because when you're in this clown of the left saying kill everybody, they're shooting up Catholic churches and stabbing white girls and because they're white and all the rest of it. This is dangerous. This is a war. This is a war. This is a war. This is the war. The woman that spits on Ed Martin and says, "I hope you die," or whatever. That's who people are. And
told you, Charlie Kirk's dead. Talking about some stable condition. Get the fuck out of here. I saw that damn video. Charlie Kirk passed away. He's dead. He's dead. Told you guys. So y'all trying to bruh. No, he's still alive, bruh. Nigga, we saw the video. He's dead. People are like, "Oh, well, Why are you spreading misinformation? He's not dead. Why did you say assassinate? He's not dead. Bro, he was assassinated. He is dead. It was a political hit. Reports from the ground are saying the shooter said they would do it again. So rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. You know, he was a controversial figure. I didn't agree with everything that he said. But I did have a lot of agreements with some of the things that he said. Ultimately, you know, on the face, he looked like a really good dude. He looked, you know, just like some, you know, regular old, you know, kind of corny white dude type shit. But he was, you know, he had his opinions, but I don't think he was like overtly disrespectful about them. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, it's like people are saying, like, this is why, you know, the Constitution says this, the Constitution. You think people give a fuck about the laws, bro? Like, like the laws don't matter when the laws get broken. It's just, I just think we have a sick population. And when you're talking that shit and when you are speaking, you know, certain things that is gonna, you know, rub people the wrong way, especially the trans people, bro, they're ready and active to clash and clap back. They are ready. So I wouldn't be, you know, they're saying it may not be this old white dude. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it was potentially, you know, LGBT-esque type shooter who ends up being confirmed the shooter. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah, Charlie Kirk is dead. Again, Charlie Kirk is dead. He is dead. He has been assassinated. He is no longer with us.
Presence was heavy. It was expected to have kind of a high scrutiny, a high visibility, this type of event, and then certainly the speaker. So there was police presence, and also Charlie Kirk. We've been told it was assumed he brought his own security detail as well. But prior to this moment, things were going quite smoothly.
And
so this was earlier in the live stream. I'm just gonna skip to the live
our campus to expose so many young people to something like this, and we all are going to be grieving this together. Let's go to this special report from NBC for a moment and see what they are reporting at that level.
Life. That someone who engaged, exercised his democratic rights, both encouraged and provoked those to share ideas, and violence has apparently taken his life, according to President Trump. Tom?
Yeah, you know, Kelly, we have covered politics, you and I, for a while now, and I don't know if we have seen, as you described it, a season of political violence like this, starting in Butler with the assassination attempt on President Trump that came so
apparently the man who was taken into custody is not the shooter. So we'll update it once we come. But I was right about him being assassinated.
very close, just inches away, as we all saw in the photos and the video. And as the president has described, a second assassination attempt on his life. What happened just recently in Minnesota with those lawmakers assassinated literally on their front doorstep. And now you have Charlie Kirk, who was never elected, never held office, a political activist, a young man, now shot in cold blood in front of a very friendly crowd from the eyewitnesses we have spoken to. In a very sick type of irony, Charlie's group was called Turning Point because he thought there was a turning point now in politics with President Trump.
Okay, so the person who was taken into custody is, I mean, he's making a ruckus, though. I'm not going to lie. So I don't know how they determined he was someone to a person of interest, but he's making a ruckus in the arrest, apparently. Let's watch.
Shoot me! Shoot me! What's that? We don't know if it's him or not.
He said, shoot me, and the police said, we don't know if it's him or not.
Shoot me! Shoot me! What's that? We don't know if it's him or not.
Hey, leave it.
So they don't know if it was him or not, but they took him into custody anyway. So that means the shooter is at large. That means the shooter is at large. That means the shooter is at large. Woo! Lord have mercy. Trump has spoken on it. He says the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. Boom. Trump confirmed that Charlie Kirk is dead. So y'all can stop saying, misinformation. Okay. But yeah, the man who was taken into custody was not Charlie Kirk. Or sorry, was not the shooter of Charlie Kirk. Woo! Lord have mercy. That's wild. Assassinated at the age of 31. Damn, he was my age. That's crazy. Hey man, y'all better be careful going outside, I'm telling you. Y'all better be careful. Y'all better be careful. But yeah, the man they took into custody was not the shooter, so scratch the George Zinn report. They're confirming Charlie Kirk's passed away. Real America Voice confirming Charlie Kirk has passed away. Let's listen up.
A short while ago, wasn't able to survive the blood loss from the wound to his neck.
Told you.
There'll be some announcements soon, is what I'm told. And then we'll have to sort through what happened today, who's responsible, and try to understand how something so senseless could occur. Just a short while ago.
Yeah, and that crowd immediately emerged into complete and utter chaos. You know? JB Pritzker is blaming Trump for Charlie Kirk getting shot. Let's listen up.
My sympathy to Charlie Kirk's family and to Charlie Kirk, who obviously has, become a target for somebody. I don't know whether it's political violence because I don't know who did it. I know they seem to have somebody in custody. But I will say that political violence, unfortunately, has been ratcheting up in this country. We saw the shootings, the killings in Minnesota. We've seen other political violence occur in other states. And I would just say it's got to stop. And I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it. We've seen the January 6th rioters who clearly, have tripped a new era of political violence. My sympathy to Charlie Kirk's family and to Charlie Kirk, who obviously is,
Yeah. Somebody said a ghost just opened your door. Nah, that's my Rottweiler. He's a funny little thing there, and he likes being with me, but apparently Rottweilers herd, so the reason why they like to be real close to you all the time is because they're herding you. They're trying to keep you with the pack. I think that's adorable. I love Rottweilers. I love all the dogs that they say are bad dogs. I love those types. I had pit bulls. I raised over like 20 pit bulls. But now I'm just settling with my little Roddy. But yeah, this is an extremely sad story. An eyewitness to Wednesday's shooting of Charlie Kirk in Utah said the suspected gunman shouted, "I'd do it again." So it sounds like the white man who was actually taken into custody was saying that he did it, but he actually didn't do it. No suspect in custody at the moment in the Charlie Kirk shooting, according to Utah Valley University spokesperson Eleanor Traynor. The university says Kirk was shot from the university's Lucy Center, 200 yards away. Told you. Yeah, he was definitely assassinated. Like somebody was saying, oh, it was a so we'll show you guys like the aerial view of the where he was shot. And then I'll show you the aerial view of where he was actually located. Ooh, yeah, it was a head-on shot, like I told you guys. So I believe Charlie Kirk was at the UCCU UVU branch, and he was shot from the Lucy Center. So let me share that here. So here's the Lucy Center. As you guys can see, 800 West University Parkway in Orem, Utah. So this was a professional hit. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. This was a professional hit. He was set up in this, you know, in this courtyard, somewhere in this courtyard. I don't know if they were in the back section or the front section. I'm presuming in the back section, because then you had people from the windows and they were all packed in there. But the man who was actually taken to custody wasn't the one who actually shot and killed Charlie Kirk. So, but this was the vantage point that he was located at. As you guys can see, the pinpoint here. I mean, you can see how that's a clear shot. Clear shot. Easily could put a rifle in a bag, walk up to the top floor, be undisturbed, scope, zoom, and make the fatal shot. He shot right past the Chick-fil-A too. Lord have mercy. Yeah, man. The United States is cooked, bro. It's plagued with violence, plagued with mentally ill individuals. Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to give me some money and get the fuck up out of here.
And where the Republican Party had gone. And Kelly, you wonder if now in his death, there may be a turning point when it comes to politics in this country. I mean, how will political activists, any type of political speech now happen in America, right? When you have something like this happen in a place where someone thought he was speaking to a friendly crowd.
Well, certainly it was a largely friendly crowd. I mean, Utah, which is certainly conservative, a university-based, the kind of group of followers who would know who Charlie Kirk is right off the bat, a figure who lived on their phones and in their social media, ever present in those ways. We have seen over time, when there are these wrenching moments of political violence, there are waves of what happens. Initially, there.
And it looks like just in time, Black Twitter is doing, or not Black Twitter, but Instagram, the blogs, the Black blogs on Instagram. Oh Lord, they're digging into Charlie Kirk's death. And you know, he said some very controversial things, said some very hurtful things that could be considered hurtful to offend people. But we at this channel, we don't support it. But I do want to show both sides and just show how much people hated this guy. Like, people hated this guy. I don't think you guys really understand. There was a lot of hatred towards Charlie Kirk. So yeah, he had a lot of enemies.
There's the shock. There is bipartisan or across the spectrum condemnation of political violence. There are inevitably questions about the availability of guns and questions of security. Obviously, our elected senior leaders have intense security around them. But on a campus, a political actor like Charlie Kirk, you would have basic security, local law enforcement, campus police, that kind of thing. You would not have the kind of screening that would prevent weapons. We're also talking about an outdoor event where you could have long range kind of ability to assess a situation on the part of a gunman or gunwoman, a shooter. And so there are so many questions to be filled out. But I think there will certainly be a moment to again address what is the place of violence. Are our politics so poisonous that people cannot control the impulse to act out? Those are societal issues. Right now, we're still in the early fact gathering. There'll be a period of acknowledging his life, those who will grieve his memory. And then what are the next steps?
Yeah. Kelly, stand by for us. I want to bring in former White House Deputy Press Secretary Hogan Gidley, a friend of Charlie Kirk, who was just texting with him yesterday. And he was on the House floor moments ago during a moment of silence. Hogan, first, I am so sorry for your loss. You knew Charlie. Talk to me about what you remember about him and what this moment means right now. It is so incredibly sad for those people that were close to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, thanks, Tom, for having me. I remember working in the first Trump administration in the White House, and Charlie would come by, and we would all kind of look and say, "Who is this kid? What does he think he's doing? He's so ambitious, and he's so talented at this young age." And we all kind of gravitated toward him. We watched what he was doing with the youth across this country, not afraid to go into hostile areas and have a debate over.
Yeah, and I you know, people are speculating who did it because the suspected shooter isn't actually the shooter. I'm gonna tell you right now, yeah, this I still stand on this wasn't us. I still stand on this didn't come from the community, because I mean that shot, you know, niggas don't do shit like this. They walk up, you know, drive by, but this was like sniper. This was he got sniped, bruh. He got sniped. It was an easy shot. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't a difficult shot, but maybe they were aiming for his head, hit his neck. Either way, it was a kill shot, instant. So the Shade Room is reporting Charlie Kirk is dead. They got Nene Leakes gif. This woman says, anyway, what you guys having for dinner? Somebody says, I know y'all didn't say TSR Angels. Literally no way he would have survived that. That video is brutal. Somebody says he was a huge fan of the Second Amendment, spoke constantly against the African-American community. If y'all don't know his rhetoric, don't even stand up for him. Leave Christ out of this. Somebody says it's very sad. Somebody says so busy worried about Black Americans and his own took him out. In Utah, no less, can't make this shit up. Dude was trying to call out facts and problems Black Americans refuse to address. He said plenty about whites, but they don't show y'all that part. Yeah, I don't know if he said plenty about whites. Regardless, he didn't deserve to die like this. But you know, the person who killed him, I guarantee. Well, I'm not even going to guarantee, but I don't think that it was a brother. I really don't. Regardless of his views, this man did not deserve to die. I hated majority of the things he stood for, but that doesn't give me or anyone the right to take him off of this earth. This is troubling. People thinking this is okay is exactly what's wrong. I agree. Unfortunately, some gun deaths are the price we pay for the Second Amendment, quote Charlie Kirk. And that is, he did say that. Somebody said it came back tenfold. When you spread hate, hate will be your ender. To say someone deserves death because you disagree with their views is vile. The First Amendment exists so we can debate, disregard, You got some mixed comments in here. Some people, you know, defending Charlie Kirk, and you got some people tearing him down with his own words. Somebody said, I had a sandwich today. They're saying, isn't he the one who said even if his daughter was raped, he would make her keep the baby? Anyone want anything from the shop? Somebody said, okay, what y'all having for dinner? So as you can see, the community does not care. You know, but, and then some sister says, get him next. And y'all know who him is. Yeah, they're referring to Trump. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this shit is crazy. All right. Now we're just trying to find out who did this, because now we have a shooter on the loose.
Ideas, no violence, no altercations other than verbal. Because that's what the country is all about, disagreeing. And he built a brand, he built an entity, he built a movement based on the ability to come together and have these sensible, honest conversations with statistics, with data. And just watching him do that, it was just awe-inspiring for someone like me who's been in this movement for such a long time, and to watch him at such a young age be able to capture the hearts and minds of so many across the country really was a blessing to me. I will tell you, we were texting just the other day, as you mentioned. He was supposed to go speak at my alma mater at the end of October at Ole Miss, the University of Mississippi in Oxford, and I told him I saw that he was coming, and he knew I went there. He said, "Oh, you have to."
Damn, they're memeing Charlie Kirk up with the George Floyd because, you know, he used to make fun of the George Floyd shit. I mean, look, man. God damn. Dang, the Black Tucker Carlson memeing him up, saying Charlie Kirk has been pronounced dead, and then memed him into the George Floyd picture. Yeah, man. I mean, I was never the one to you know, stomp on the grave of Floyd, and there was a lot of people doing that, Charlie Kirk included. You know, there's two sides to the coin. You can say, yo, man, dude was tripping. He was doing too much. Maybe he, you know, it was an overdose. That's disputed. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. Let's keep going.
To come to that, we're gonna have a great time, and so I was trying to plan a trip down to Oxford to be with him, and now this happens today, and I'm so sad to think of his wife and his children who were left behind after this.
Damn, so he was gonna turn 32 this year because he was born in 93, so he's 2 years older than me, but well, probably a little less than 2 years older than me. But yeah, man, RIP.
Tragedy, but I'm also filled with rage to think someone would do something like this simply for disagreeing with somebody politically. We don't know the motivations yet, but obviously they didn't like Charlie. But there's no place for political violence in this country. The shooter is grotesque, is vile, is a disgusting person, and you know, as Kelly said, as you said, we're going to wait and see more information as it comes out. But right now, I think a lot of people are in shock. A lot of people are angry. And a lot of people are sad at what just occurred.
Hogan, you know, you can never get in the mind of somebody who would want to assassinate a political figure, a public figure, right? Likely they have some type of issues. What was it you think about Charlie that would compel someone to do this, in the sense that he
the news is about to eviscerate him. Watch this. The news is about to eviscerate him. What was it that you think would compel somebody to do this? They're going to say he was racist, he was this, he was that, he was that. Oh, it's OV.
I said to Kelly, he was not elected. He had never held political office, but he had a huge platform, millions of followers on social media, but he's not a household name. If you're not really into politics, you likely don't know who Charlie Kirk is. And maybe even if you're not into Republican politics, you have never heard of him. We know him because we work in this space. You work with him closely, as you had said. But what do you think it was about Charlie that would have prompted somebody to do something as vile and as violent as this?
Well, there is nothing about Charlie that would, should, or could push somebody to do something like this. That is unacceptable, regardless of your thoughts.
Okay, so he said nothing. I guess this is more a conservative channel.
Of his policies or his positions, there is no excuse, there is no reason, there is no rationale for this behavior in any form or fashion. I don't care what Charlie Kirk said, what he did, no excuse for this at all. And what is so frustrating is, as the tensions in this country continue to get ratcheted up, you brought this up at the beginning of the segment, we had a former president, a candidate.
See, this is what I don't like, because he's saying, oh, there's nothing that he could have done to make people want to do. Bro, just be honest. He had a lot of enemies. He angered a lot of people with what he said. I anger a lot of people with what I said. So if a nigga killed me, then you could go to my channel. You could say, well, shit, the nigga was talking about the nigga dead mama. The nigga was talking about the nigga dead auntie. The nigga was talking about this nigga dead ops. You can say all the, bruh. Let's just be real, bro. He stoked a lot of flames. He was very matter of fact about, you know, talking shit about different, you know, groups, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with him or not, right? He made enemies with the black community, even though most of the black community don't know who the hell he is. That's why I don't think this was us. He made enemies with the LGBT, and those are the ones you got to watch out for, because you can't tell who the fuck they are. You can't tell, bro. They could look like a man one day, then be dressed up like a woman the next day, and they will motherfucking cap your ass, bruh. You know, people are going to say, oh, well, it's the left. Oh, this is the... Bro, the people in this country are fucking batshit crazy. That's what you have to come to grips with. The people in this country are batshit crazy, whether it's on the right, because you got a lot of crazy shit coming from the right too. You know, like I just report the facts. We have a little fun with the commentary, but we're not calling for all these people need to be this or all these people need to be that. Bro, like, come on, man. Y'all have to be honest. I showed you why people were celebrating his death. I showed you videos of people celebrating his death and the reason why they're celebrating his death. Because he said shit that rubbed people the wrong way, that was offensive. And that is why. It's not like, don't try and say there's nothing he could have said to anger anybody. Bro, these people are crazy. He didn't say anything enough to me to anger me to do anything violent towards him. But he did say some things that I was going back and forth with him on Twitter. I was taking shots with him on Twitter. We was debating or we was clowning on him on Twitter. So it's just as easy for somebody who's mentally unstable to go back and forth with him on any topic that he debated, disagree with him so much that they were so angry to the point where they wanted to kill this man. So I'm going to go ahead and say that it was most likely. I mean, to me, it feels. Damn, what can I really say? I'm trying to call it on who actually did that. It feels like a military hit. It feels like a former vet or hunter or somebody who could take that shot, or maybe a Gen Z incel. I don't know. He could be a Gen Z incel, fucking trans, this, that, and the third. I don't know. But I definitely don't think it was a black dude. I just don't. I don't think it was a woman. I think it was a man. I think it was probably either former military dude to take that shot. I mean, 200 yards isn't that far away. But to know where to go, to know where to set up shop, to not be detected the whole time, you were doing this. I don't know. I'm not going to say it takes skill, but it definitely takes practice, maybe. I'd say you have to practice getting in that position at least. Maybe it was a student at the university who, studied in that venue before. But we showed the vantage point. We showed the vantage point from the UVU Career Development Building. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Let's see. Sorry, now my Google Maps acting like we didn't have the location. The Lucy Center, the UVU Lucy Center. So let's look inside the Lucy Center, because they just recently remodeled it. But that's where the shot was from. Apparently one of the higher floors of the Lucy Center.
Dodge a bullet in reality. Was shot in the ear, and then another assassination attempt was.
Oh, it's like a study center. So, you can actually, you can book a study room. So maybe there's evidence there. It reminds me of, and I'm not going to dox where I am, but niggas know where I went to college. It reminds me of the UGA library, right? It reminds me of the UGA library, right? Where you have this library study setting, you have different rooms that people can rent out, or the MLC, right? The Miller Learning Center. So these are what the new renovations look like. They have different cubby holes for you to, for offices or for you to rent out. But we know these universities are big hubs for leftist, liberal-minded people, radicalized leftist people. We know that's a fact. So obviously that is a motive for somebody to take his life. Again, we'll show the location and the vantage point. So as you can see, the shooter was located at the Lucy Center right here. Charlie Kirk was located at this, little field here. The shots came from here straight like this, okay? So they could have just rented a study room, set up, and nobody would have bothered them because it's a very quiet thing. It's not packed out because it's not like a super big university. I mean, they had a nice campus. Let me see. Let's see how many students go to Utah Valley University. So the student population is 44,000. Okay, so they are a pretty big school. I didn't think they were that big, but that's a pretty big school. Total enrollment, 44,000 students. All right, so let's keep going.
Spoiled. And now we have someone like Charlie Kirk as well. You mentioned not elected, true. But someone who just went to go on these college campuses, and as they used to be places we could share ideas and debate ideas, it seems like they've become petri dishes or cesspools for silencing and censoring voices that differ with your opinions. And so there is no reason for anyone to want to attack Charlie Kirk. There is no reason that is legitimate by any stretch of the imagination. We don't know this person. We don't know the motivation, as you said. However, this is just flat out evil.
Yeah, flat out evil. And it speaks to sort of how large of a figure Charlie had become, if you will, Hogan, right? He had become someone who, when we just see that video in Utah, thousands of people had shown up.
We've been listening into NBC News special report on Charlie Kirk, confirmed by President Donald Trump on Truth Social. 31-year-old Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, was shot and killed at the Utah Valley University State Campus earlier today at an event that was fairly a friendly crowd. As you know, if you are familiar with Charlie Kirk, he is on this America Comeback tour where he travels across the nation to different college campuses where there is debates and political discourse. And we have been getting statements from, as you can imagine, from local leaders. We want to share with you what Governor Spencer Cox has written on X. In part, it says, quote, "Working with the FBI and Utah law enforcement, we will bring to justice the individual responsible for this tragedy. We are praying for Charlie's wife, daughter, and son." And we should note UVU has confirmed they do not have a suspect in custody at this time, Deanie.
And here's a statement from President Trump. "The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you." Those are the latest developments, even as we are still seeing troops and police officers, law enforcement going into buildings on campus. Let's check back in with Mike Hedrick to see the latest now that this information has been confirmed. Mike?
Yeah, so Deanie, again, I'm right here at the center. Anyone who knows and comes off of University Avenue comes through this area. This huge roundabout here on UVU's campus. This is where you go to park, and you can see all other cars have been cleared out. Look around here. You can just see a lot of flashing lights, police vehicles. I'll tell you, I tried to count, and I've never seen so many emergency crews or vehicles on a scene. There's got to be anywhere from 50 to 75 of these vehicles throughout the parking lot. And then you can multiply that by whatever number as far as the number of police and other emergency personnel who are here on scene. It's incredible, the presence. But it seems quiet on campus. Other than seeing all of this law enforcement here, it is quiet for the most part. They're clearing.
So again, reports are confirming Charlie Kirk is dead. He has been assassinated, and the suspect who was taken into custody is not, I repeat, is not the man who actually shot Charlie Kirk. So, like I said, had a lot of enemies, man. Had a lot of enemies, and the shot came from a high vantage point. It was a professional hit. Yeah.
Room by room, many of these buildings right now, the classrooms, to make sure everyone is out, everyone is safe, and making sure that there are no other threats. As far as I have heard or talking to anyone else, it doesn't seem like there are any other active threats, but they can't take that for granted. They can't take that risk, and they need to make sure that everything is cleared before they move forward and continue on.
Again, guys, if you're watching the stream, if you are watching the stream from X, make sure you go to YouTube. Black Gen Z Mindset, YouTube, Black Gen Z Mindset for a more seamless streaming experience.
With the investigation here. Again, I've spoken to a number of people today who are right up close, probably within 15, 20 yards. I got a couple of guys right here who were actually asking questions before that final question was asked, and that's when Charlie got shot. So right now with me is Henry. Henry, I appreciate the time. You also got Ryan over here, right? So, Henry, you asked a question right before the individual did after you. What did he ask, and then what happened?
So, basically, he just asked questions about transgenderism, and it led into like transgender violence and shooters and stuff like that, based off of, you know, what's been happening around the country, and it's just been a problem. But I just thought it was very hard to reconcile for a while there. I think I was just in a state of shock, but the fact that it was like 10 to 20 seconds after I walked away, I turned back and I see Charlie just gushing blood from his neck. And after that, you have a random old kook who has no weapon but confesses to the shooting for some reason. And I'm not okay with that, because that took up a lot of cops that were there at the time that could have been searching for the shooter, because the shooter's at large. We don't know where he's at. They're, like you said, they're clearing room by room. And I think a lot of us are super angry. Because it's just a lot.
So you're telling me that the person, that older gentleman who we've seen video on social media, who claims to possibly have shot him, you're saying you don't believe he was the shooter?
He didn't have a gun. He didn't have a weapon on him. He just confessed to it, and they grabbed him, pulled him over. Because I'll tell you this, I was there about an hour and a half before the thing even started, before everyone showed up, and he was going around and talking to any conservatives and stuff, just bashing Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's this, Charlie Kirk's a racist, Charlie Kirk's blah, 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 blah. And he was just making a scene. And it doesn't surprise me. He didn't, from what I could tell, he didn't have anything on him. If they did, I don't think they would be looking for the shooter, because they would, if it was him, they would have the weapon with him, but it wasn't there. So that's the whole thing.
And you've heard since in the last moments, President Trump sent out as well on social media that he passed away.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I had a friend actually who just sent me a message. There were a bunch of friends who'd seen me already on the news and stuff have been messaging me, telling me like, yeah, dude, he didn't make it. And I think me and Ryan and a whole bunch of us are just fed up with it. We don't know. There's stuff that needs to happen. It needs to change. Opinions shouldn't lead to shootings. I'm sorry.
I think most people would probably agree with that.
Yes,
you
sir.
hope so, at least.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Henry. Ryan, let me talk to you a little bit, and you can stay here as well, Henry, if you'd like. Talk to me about where you were. Were you two together when this happened, or where were you standing?
No, I was about 50 feet away. I was in the thick of the crowd. I was working my way up to the stand to ask Charlie some questions. At that moment that the shot rang out, I look over and I see Charlie Kirk slump over for just a split second, and the crowd just pushes back. There's a huge stampede pushing back. People are jumping into the fountain. People are running towards the building. I stuck around, tried to stay away out of everybody's way, pulled out my phone, started to take some video. I got down there closer to the stand, and there was very little police presence. However, at that time, I believe that was when they had taken Charlie away. That's when they had already taken the alleged suspect away. But as Henry mentioned, with that suspect, we were talking to somebody from Deseret News who said they recognize this individual, and he goes to political events. He goes to a lot of events with news and with media, and he tries to
stir contention.
Yep, he tries to gain attention, tries to take credit for what's going on, and here he is jumping up right after the shot saying he did it.
So the man who was actually taken into custody just did that for attention. The fact that an older man would do that shit is insane, but he could have been people are saying it's more high level than we think. It was a distraction so that the real shooter could get away,
so that's really concerning to know.
People are asking what news source this is. This is the local news. KSL, Utah.
I mean, hence the police presence that we see here today. It looks like they
So
have.
I trust the local news way more than I trust the institutional national news, because that's where I get all my stories from, the local news. And they're going to report on the real, what they're getting actually from the police and witnesses. They don't do all the, political shaping and theatering. They will bring in pundits who do give a political opinion sometimes, but nah.
Not apprehended the actual shooter.
Did you see the shot fired?
I didn't. It did sound like it came from the right side of me, and I tried to look, but I was getting pushed back by the crowd. I was talking to a professor who works here, and he said,
so yeah, a lot of people are hanging on to the last words of Charlie Kirk, and they say, confirmed, Charlie Kirk was killed. His last words, gang violence. Yeah. The irony in this wasn't no damn gang violence. Now, obviously, we know gang violence is an issue, but this wasn't no damn gang violence. So you can't blame the bruhs for this one. I wonder how both wings of the media are going to spin this, because y'all know, I'm an independent. I'm more of a libertarian. Like I don't align myself with Republican or Democrat. But I can acknowledge that there's some crazy ass leftists, and I can also acknowledge that there's some crazy ass people on the right wing. And I think there is a middle ground to all of this that is just being completely ignored. And if there is a middle ground movement, I think it gets co-opted real quick. So Charlie Kirk is confirmed dead at the age of 31. It's crazy. I thought he was way older than me. He looked older than me, but I guess maybe I just look young.
with the view that anybody could have had of Charlie, it could have been from 200 yards away. So I think that's why we're seeing drones in the air. That's why we've got helicopters in the air. We have a SWAT response. We're seeing snipers. So I think they're still trying to figure out really where the shot came from.
Last thing I'll ask you, you described the chaos. What were you feeling and thinking in the middle of that chaos immediately after shots were fired?
I was thinking there is no way that this can be real. Being here in Utah, where it's relatively safe, a UVU campus, where there's a lot of like-minded individuals, you always hear people say you never think it's going to happen to you. I have a different mindset. I think of always being prepared, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I hope that everybody who's seeing this event unfold, I hope that this is their call to action, to speak up, to stand out, to make change, because this is unacceptable. We can't live like this.
Yeah, when Charlie Kirk was shot, he was immediately killed. Like people are we're trying to say, no, he's not dead. Dude, he had a gallon of blood leaking out of his fucking neck. You're dead from that, bro.
See, we've heard this a lot from people about there needs to be a change, from people who were there on campus. We hear this from politicians as well.
And now people are about to meme this shit the fuck up. I hope y'all are well aware. There's about to be a shitstorm online. Things are only going to get more divisive. Things are going to only get more nasty. The rhetoric is just going to get more radicalized. You know, you got a black woman here saying white on white crimes at an all-time high. I blame single motherhood and fatherlessness. So here you have a sister here digging and stomping and pissing on the grave of a Charlie Kirk. I'm telling you guys, this is about to get way worse than y'all think. The political violence is about to get way worse. I've been calling it, but it is what it is. Boyce Watkins weighs in. God, I mean, very callous tweets here. The Charlie Kirk incident was an unfortunate, as all the poor children being killed in Palestine. Words and actions have consequences. Let's please stop the violence across the board. Damn. So he brought up Palestine, saying that he deserved to die because free Palestine. Police are still searching for the suspect in the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk. I'm trying to get some more videos. But Charlie Kirk was a father of two. He was a husband. Somebody said Hitler had a family too. you know. So that there is the replies, the back and forth that it's about to go down is over. I genuinely don't understand why people thought he was still alive after this. I genuinely don't understand how people thought he was alive after this. Here's a long range video of the shot. I can show this because it's not as bloody. But the close up, you can clearly see he was dead instantly. Like it was one Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. The life left his body.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Oh my God. Go, run. Whoa.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Oh my God. Go, run. Whoa.
Yeah. So, I mean, y'all saw that. Y'all heard that shot. Let's see. I'm still trying to get more information on the shooter.
What does that change? What's going to change somebody from doing something like this?
Like we were speaking to a teacher earlier, and he was talking about how practically the entire university, the chair, the president, the chair, no one was informed. No one was informed that that there was not going to be enough security or anything. Some people were in class not even knowing Charlie was coming. I don't think that's okay, especially after what happened in Butler in Pennsylvania with President Trump and all that.
Wow. So apparently no one was informed that Charlie Kirk was coming, like, to the highest levels. I don't believe that. There's no way you can throw an event like this, and it's on his schedule. There's no way you can throw an event like this and not inform the necessary administrators on campus. There's literally no way.
Stuff. We know that this violence exists, and we all know that Utah's had a lot of progressives come into the state, and with the same old rhetoric that leads to instances like this. And I think it's the rhetoric of people saying like, "Oh, well, we saw people that were smiling when it happened. We saw people that were like, oh, good shot." All from this certain group of people.
That's not right. That's not right. Both of you, thank you very much. I appreciate taking the time. I'm glad you're safe.
Yeah,
I appreciate you sharing your stories and your eyewitness accounts. So thank you.
Yes.
Best of luck to you. So, Deanie, as we kind of wrap up that conversation, it's very similar to a lot of other people we spoke with. It's really a surreal situation that happened here. Conservative town USA, that's really what this is. And so a lot of people would not think that something like this would happen. And again, we're still trying to figure it out. Police are still trying to figure out. You still wouldn't have this presence out here if they weren't still trying to figure out exactly what happened. So we hope to get some of those answers at some point today, but I think it may take a while. Back to you.
It's disturbing to even hear that kind of testimony and those kind of interviews from students, from young people who had to witness that kind of stuff.
Again, if you are just joining us, President Trump confirmed on a post on Truth Social, Charlie Kirk, 31-year-old Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, has died after being shot at an event held at Utah Valley University just a couple of hours ago. And I just wanted to read a little.
Damn, bro, this nigga got shot and killed in Mormontown. Literally was killed in Mormontown. Insane.
Little portion of that post from President Trump where he says, quote, "No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me. And now he is no longer with us." And President Trump.
Damn. So now this pamphlets account, who has a big following here, they say fascist influencer Charlie Kirk has been shot after calling for a race war. And they, use this double mouth type thing. Fuck.
Also added Melania, and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. And also we are getting a statement from Senator Mike Lee from Utah, who had posted, "Charlie Kirk was an American patriot."
Holy crap. This is just in. This is breaking news. Almost 7,000 people signed a petition trying to stop Charlie Kirk from speaking at Utah State. 7,000 people signed a petition trying to stop Charlie Kirk from speaking at Utah State. I mean, come on. Like I told you guys, he had a lot of enemies.
An inspiration to countless young people to stand up and defend the timeless truths that make our country great. This murder was a cowardly act of violence, an attack on champions of freedom like Charlie and the students who gathered.
So as police on campus continue escorting people out of buildings and off campus, they continue to tell people to shelter in place until they can be escorted off, and presumably they continue to look for the suspect. We're just trying to bring you updated information.
Damn, you have a pro-Palestine commenter saying Charlie Kirk has defended every massacre in Gaza and used every platform available to justify Israel's starvation campaign. Damn. So I told you guys, it's about to be get real divisive online, especially Twitter, X. I mean, it's about to be insane. It's about to be insane. They're about to meme. I'm telling you, they're about to meme the fuck out of Charlie Kirk, like getting shot.
And as we can see it coming out, one of the latest bits that we've seen is an update from the University of Utah. They are open, but they did issue a safety alert encouraging people to be extra precautious.
Also, the shooter is still on the run. The shooter is still on the run.
But then to also recognize that they have extra security on campus for the events all this week. Let's go to Andrew, who is also on campus. Andrew, you've been talking to people all day. What have you got at your location?
Well, actually, I just wanted to give you a quick scene setter of what we're looking at, because as this situation is getting sorted out and they're going room to room, we're seeing some swift movement over here just south of the Fugel Gateway building, which is directly south of where the shooting took place. And so you see that this Jeep that is speeding.
I'm looking on my timeline today, right now, and I'm seeing two posts back to back making fun of Charlie Kirk's death. This woman says, Mel Blanc says, me at the hospital watching Charlie Kirk's data scope flatline.
Open up your recall. Open up my
That's wild. And then some other poster says, shooting Charlie Kirk right under a Prove Me Wrong banner is a pretty funny rebuttal. Damn. Here is Secretary Kennedy speaking about Charlie Kirk. Not gonna read it, but you can see he shared his condolences here. Damn. Yeah, he's done, bro. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go back to the news, see if we can get more witness statements.
Off here. It looked like a few guys dressed in fatigues getting into that vehicle and heading off quickly. Just before that, we saw like I would call it a Bearcat-like truck. I don't know if that's the actual description. It also took off in a hurry. Just prior to that, we saw people in SWAT gear as we're just looking at that vehicle exiting. We did see some swift movements. We saw some police running south, but at the same time, we saw some people rushing into the Gateway building. Again, they're in the process of clearing campus. So walking and going place to place, that can be expected, but we just saw
law enforcement rushing to a different location unknown to us. And so that makes you wonder exactly what is going on with those people right now. But just wanted to give you an idea of the situation, that it is continuing to evolve here with the police response. And again, just resetting, if you're just tuning into us, we saw several SWAT people get in vehicles and book it that way, and then up out toward the south end of campus. So we don't know exactly where they are going. Just prior.
So apparently the man who was taken into custody actually confessed to killing Charlie Kirk, and it's not true. So he lied about killing Charlie Kirk, which is, I don't know, very interesting. Very weird turn of events. This is getting wonky, man.
To that, though, and this, I just want to point you this way. As you see, well, between the trees, you might be able to see the legs of a SWAT officer rushing in toward this building. We've seen a lot of attention on the Fugel Gateway building, which is what this is, again, directly south of the shooting area. And so presumably going in to clear it, but we don't know if there is anything more pressing than that in this building. But again, in a larger scale process of clearing the entire campus, can't imagine how a grueling of a process that is, understanding how many rooms there are on a college campus where as many as 50,000 students go to school. It's just wild. But that's what we've just been seeing in the last few minutes. We'll toss it back to the studio, try and see if we can get some more information at some point.
All right, Andrew Adams reporting live from UVU campus for us with that update. Thank you.
We appreciate just the updated information and seeing that this is still, UVU has reported this is still an unfolding situation. We're seeing that.
So a woman says Charlie Kirk was taunting trans people and having lighthearted conversations about mass shootings literally seconds before he was shot in the neck. The irony is incredible. Violence is never the answer, but when you are on a hate tour, this happens.
Police dogs still on campus, officers still speeding to different places. We don't know what the latest developments are, but we will keep you posted. And that's why we keep checking in with our various reporters who are in different spots on campus.
Damn.
Let's check in with Dan.
Damn, I told y'all people are about to like meme Charlie Kirk the hell up. They're going back to a post in 2014 from June 22nd, 2014. Saying, did I just get shot by an AR-15? Feels like it. And they're memeing it up. They're memeing them up, man. I told you guys. It's about to get way more divisive online. And obviously, I don't want that. It's going to get, because that
right behind me as well.
Translates to the tension that is brewing in the country.
Where the shooting actually took place. We've also seen some law enforcement walking around in the area where spectators were sitting during Charlie Kirk's speech when he was shot at about 12:10 this afternoon. And it's been really, I think, compelling to hear from some of these people who were watching what they thought was an innocent political event, a safe event, in the middle of a beautiful September day here in Utah County, of all places, when all of a sudden shots rang out. We want to hear what some of those witnesses had to tell us just a little bit earlier.
Heard the gunshot. I was the last one standing because I couldn't quite believe. I thought maybe it was a stunt. And then everybody fell to the ground. We all fell to the ground. I got pushed into some bushes. I stayed there. There was a lady with her elderly mom, and I said, is she okay?
Everybody kind of just didn't know what was going on at the moment. They were just sitting there like watching it. Like, oh, did he really? I'm like, yo, dude, he got shot, dude. Get out of here now, dude.
Those were some of the witnesses, and really in talking with one individual in particular really has stuck out to me. He was so close to the stage. He saw it exactly happen. He saw Charlie Kirk get shot, as he put it, in the neck, and blood come out, and just a really horrific scene to witness. These are tough details, but that's what happened here at UVU. And then as they described it to me, they took off running. In fact, 3 people that I interviewed said that they ran through this fountain here behind me just to try to get to safety, because at that point, nobody knew what was going on.
on. They thought it was a firecracker. Some people thought it was part of the show, and it turned out that it was anything but that, and Charlie Kirk was shot and later died from his injuries. I also wanted to make reference to the statement from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that was read a little bit earlier. As we've been reporting on, President Russell M. Nelson of the church turned 101 years old yesterday, and as part of that, he released an op-ed in Time magazine, and actually in that, he essentially called on his followers and others on the followers of Jesus Christ and others to turn down the temperature online and such. And nobody, of course, comes to an event like this expecting that there will be a shooting. And I think it was obviously a shock to everybody, and people have echoed today what President Nelson has said, and that is that differences of opinion, of course, are inevitable, but we cannot allow it to become violent. We cannot allow ourselves to dehumanize each other. And that's been very difficult for people here, as I've talked.
So apparently there was a Twitter account that posted some threatening messages about Charlie Kirk. It says, Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope someone evaporates him. Literally, let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. And this is a Twitter page. I told y'all, bruh. Narj Galvs. So I'm looking it up. Account doesn't exist. So, oh, sorry, hold up. Narja Galvs, right? Account doesn't exist. Oh, Najra, sorry. All right, let me try one more time. All right. Oh, it's a locked account. 17-year-old non-binary individual. So that was what was in their bio. 17 years old. No, I mean, I don't think this person did anything. He's 17 years old. Come on. Or maybe, but Lives of TikTok is posting it like they should be a person of interest. Honestly, if this shooter gets away with doing this, I really don't see how with all the cameras and all this kind of stuff, but shit. That nigga was leaking when they shot him, boy. He was leaking.
To them today to think about that they came to an event on a public university campus and ended up running for their lives because they heard a shooting, they heard shots fired, and Charlie Kirk, the speaker, the main event, was shot and killed. So a lot to process today, but it's been interesting to talk to those who were there, and they've had to share with me just what they have to now go through. The one woman, a UVU student, said she planned to go seek out a therapist and counseling because of how much she saw and what she's trying to process now. She said she'd been crying for a long time, and even an hour after the event when we talked to her, more than an hour, her heart was still racing. So a lot to unpack here at UVU campus today. Back to you.
We appreciate that, Daniel, for that update. And it's so hard to watch this video because, and you alluded to that as well, to see the fear and the reaction from the thousands of students that were there. The violence, the heartache. It's a flood of emotions as you see people scrambling here, and it's really hard to watch and know that happened in our backyard. That happened anywhere, but that it happened.
Damn, they are memeing him the fuck up. Holy shit. Here's another Charlie, somebody digging in to the wound. No. So Charlie Kirk tweeted on May 11th, the NBA has become totally unwatchable. Then he posts this clip right after Charlie Kirk was shot. Some Omar, professional hater, free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo in the bio. I told y'all it's about to be a mess. It's about to be a mess on Twitter.
Here in Utah. Let's go right now. Who have we got we got Jody standing by. Jody, what have you been seeing in your area? We're expecting an update in about 10 minutes, and there has been some police action on campus.
There absolutely has been, Deanie. They just keep flooding in more teams of SWAT. They keep going into each building. Right now, I'm here just outside of the Fulton Library, in between the Clark Building and the Liberal Arts Building. Now, just to give you a reference point, the Liberal Arts Building, the venue where the shooting took place, it was just beyond the Liberal Arts Building. Now, one of the things that Daniel Woodruff said, totally.
And this was a post from 18 hours ago before the shooting. It says, Charlie Kirk's racist lies get black people killed. I hope the favor is soon returned. And this is from Jason Call. DNR, recycle DNR will both kill us. Math teacher, bass player, unapologetic agitator, he, him. Our interests are not their interests. Scorched earth on capitalism. So definitely, you know, socialists or whatever. I don't fucking know. All I know, these people are crazy.
Reminds me of the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. His message last conference 6 months ago was to be a peacemaker. And so I think everybody is just very shaken here on campus and throughout the world, knowing that this is the message that he disseminates to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It again was his 101st birthday yesterday, and we're coming up on another conference in October, and I'm sure that line of thought is going to continue. Now, I'm here with 3 young men. They came to see Charlie Kirk, and the turn for the worst happened. I'm going to start with Nick. Nick actually was there in a middle row. Nick, tell us a little bit about what happened. Tell us your last name first.
Nick Call.
Tell us exactly what happened, what you saw.
So I was just watching him speak, and he was talking about gang violence, and then I just hear like a loud pop, and I'm looking at him, and it doesn't even look real. Like I'm only 18 years old. I've never experienced a lot of death in my life, but this is like the first time I've ever seen somebody die, and my heart was just racing. It was so scary.
All right, they have a clip of Charlie Kirk speaking on empathy. I told y'all they're about to meme him the fuck up. Some woman says this what bro had to say about empathy, so don't give him any.
I can't stand the word empathy. Actually, I think empathy is a made-up new age term that does a lot of damage. But I can't stand the word empathy. Actually, I think empathy is a made-up new age term that does a lot of damage. But I can't stand the word empathy. Actually, I think empathy is a made-up new age term that does a lot of damage. But I can't stand.
Damn. That is crazy. That is crazy. I told y'all he had a lot of enemies, man.
And I was just appalled. Like everybody just.
Shout out to Nah Hassan. He says you should post your stream in the Kick Fam Discord to get more followers and chatters. I guess this is like a bot. No, never mind. But shout out to Natty Witt. He says they aren't done yet. Van Lee says a sniper was on a roof. Yeah, man. Yeah, and unless there's some breaking news about who the actual shooter was, I'm probably going to log off because I still got some videos to upload for later on tonight. Because it's crazy. It's White Boy Wednesday, so we were going to do a crime perpetrated by a glider gremlin today. And this Charlie Kirk story just happens. Oh, wow. He was on the roof. Holy shit. Oh, shit. An eyewitness recorded someone on the roof from which shots were allegedly fired at Charlie Kirk. Wow. So I'm about to show you guys that.
Flopped to the floor, and I just tried to do what everybody else was doing. It was really scary.
Oh, I can't even imagine how scary that would be. Did you drop to the ground?
So here we go. This is a student recording someone on the roof.
Get right up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying. He just ran from over, where's my finger? Well, from over there, ran in, and now he's right there. Just saying, just get right up.
Damn. So somebody saw somebody on the roof, just took a video. I guess they didn't report it to the police.
Ground as well. Were you waiting to see, is there going to be another shooting? I mean, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I instantly just dropped to the floor. I didn't know if he was a mass shooter, like he was there to shoot everybody there. But when I was on the floor, there were some group of people.
All right, so they have a diagram of how the shooting took place. I showed you guys from Google Maps, but this one does it better justice. Charlie Kirk was speaking from here in this little awning. The university stated the shooter fired from the Lucy Center right here. 200 yards. Easy shot. They got on the roof. They knew how to get on the roof. This is a very skilled, I'm not going to say very skilled, but hell, they didn't miss like the guy who tried to assassinate Trump. So they're way more skilled than him, at least.
At the top, they cheered when he got shot. And I was just appalled. I couldn't believe the lack of human life that
someone said they cheered when he got shot.
People have.
The lack of empathy there. Oh, that's appalling. I agree. Now, when you saw what you saw, did you have a certain direction that you heard the shot come from, or did you think it was just one shooter?
So the right-wing Twitter really wants this to be a trans shooter, because now they're posting a video of saying right before Charlie Kirk got shot, trans activists shouted at him holding a sign about judgment. Seconds later, he was shot. So let's watch.
Witnesses, which in your hand make up the resurrection, you will be using male witnesses, even external biblical evidence, such as Josephus, the Italian woman, acknowledge witnesses, which in your hand make up the resurrection.
What is that? Matt 7:1 or Matthew 7:1? Something not. What the fuck? Not. Judge not, or you be judged. I think. Yeah, so this was moments before the disaster. You had the trans activists. I want to see the videos of them cheering. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, so I was facing towards him, and it looked like the shot came from my left, so his right, and it just went through his neck and out the other side. It was gruesome.
Now that we're still trying to parse through information and we know that the shooter is at large, what are your thoughts now?
I hope they catch this guy. Nobody deserves to die, no matter what your political beliefs are. And I just think that if you do something like this, you deserve to go to jail for life.
Thank you for sharing. I'm going to move on now to Jack. We have two Jacks here. So I'm going to start with you, Jack. What's your last name?
Jack Stevenson.
And tell me, where were you? How did you hear about this? What are your thoughts now?
Yeah, so I was just kind of like on the middle left, farther away from Nick. But yeah, I just heard about it through social media, and I came to hear Charlie Kirk speak just because I thought it would be interesting.
So apparently, Lauren Boebert requests a moment of prayer for Charlie Kirk, and Democrats say no on the House floor. Well, let's watch this. Let's listen up.
What purpose does the gentlelady from Colorado rise? let's wait a minute. Wait a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order.
Y'all seen Maxine
The
Waters?
House will be in order. The House will be in order.
Jesus, nobody respects Mike Johnson.
We will join prayer right after this, okay?
So they're not going to pray on the House floor, but they're going to, I mean, I don't know if they got the news, but bro he's not with us anymore. Prayers for the family, though.
See what he had to say, and yeah, so that's why I came.
So now in the aftermath, we're trying to piece things together. What are your thoughts now?
Just prayers for his family is honestly just what I've been thinking this whole time. Like Nick said, you know, no one deserves to die, especially with a wife and 2 young kids at home and all of his extended family. I cannot even imagine what they're going through right now.
Thank you so much, Jack. All right, Jack, what's your last name?
Watkins.
Okay, you were there and you specifically came out to see Charlie, correct? Yeah. What were your thoughts at the time?
Well, so I was with Jack Stevenson here, and we were kind of just like, we should just go like for fun, just to see. We don't really care like about Charlie Kirk, but like, you know what I mean? Just go, you know, and just to be there, like, and like, it was good. Like it was really fun, but just like, it's just crazy that chaos just happened so quickly. And I mean, that's kind of all I don't know.
Do you have second thoughts about going to something like this in the future?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, a little, like it's pretty traumatizing, but I don't know. I mean, this doesn't really happen. Like he's gone to colleges all over the world, and it's just crazy that it happened at my college. You know what I mean? Like I just signed up to go here and just, you know, enrolled, and it's crazy to see that like the one thing that I go to, something has to happen, and it's just horrible, but I don't know.
Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your thoughts. So as we just heard, a traumatic experience for them and for, you know, students.
Here are moments before Charlie Kirk was shot. You can see him throwing out hats. You know, all the shit that he talked online doesn't justify what happened to him. And I'm sure interpersonally, he was a, you know, cool dude. And he was always open to have the conversation, mostly depending on what the topic was, you know, unless it was to talk about a certain, you know, small country somewhere in the sandy land. He was avoiding those conversations, but that's fine, though.
There you go. Right on. You got it.
Literally with a freedom shirt on. Damn. Freedom. Free doom. Holy. The ironies in this story is crazy.
Here that they know, and the fact that this shooter is at large is very, very scary. So as we have information continue to unfold, we will let you know. I'll send it back to you.
It's so unsettling to hear from those college students.
Damn, somebody said this happened every day in Gaza and Charlie cheered it on. Like I said, you got a lot of people who are upset with him.
I'm just 18 years old.
That
I mean,
student who had just signed up. Jody, thank you for that report.
Yeah. Okay. Again, we are waiting for an update in about 5 minutes. In the meantime, we have some updated information. Let's check in with Sarah Martin, who is at the Timpanogos Hospital. Let's find out what information are you hearing there at the hospital, Sarah?
Right now, Timpanogos Regional Hospital, we believe, we don't have this completely confirmed, but we believe this is where Charlie Kirk was taken after he was shot at UVU. Heavy police presence here on the campus of Timpanogos Regional Hospital. The hospital in lockdown, according to security personnel. All appointments for the day were canceled after about 1 p.m. The hospital here turning away patrons unless it's an absolute emergency, unless they're arriving in an ambulance or in an emergency vehicle. Right now, we do have a small group of supporters of Charlie Kirk who gathered on the corner of Timpanogos Regional Hospital to show their support and to show that they are, here and willing to support. And we have one supporter here who's willing to chat with us. This is Matthew. Matthew, thanks for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Why are you here today? Why is this important to show up?
Charlie has done so much for our nation, for America, for the youth, for the faith in America. And today feels like a Rubicon has been crossed by the left. And it's time for us to stand up for what we believe in, like Charlie, to take our liberty back and to really be the America that we're supposed to be. And we're here to give support to Charlie and his family, and all of his supporters and his staff and those that were here today and those that have taken care of him.
You've been here. It's pretty warm out here. You've been here in the sunshine for about an hour that we've been with you, and we've seen a huge number of cars drive by, and some very vocal. Has that been a positive experience for you so far? What have you seen?
Mostly positive. There's been some negative. Woman was filming us, and she yelled out something derogatory to Charlie Kirk, which is disgusting, and we're seeing more of that from the left. What we don't see enough of from the left is condemnation for what's going on. Just like this young girl in North Carolina that no one reported on for days. We're tired of it, and we're here to support America and stand up for what we believe in.
Matthew Berry, here to show your support for Charlie Kirk. We're so sorry for the loss today. Any other final words?
God bless America. God bless Charlie Kirk.
We've seen firsthand a significant number of people shouting out in support and also against Charlie Kirk today. Lots of political division on the street corner here in front of the hospital where we believe he was treated and now confirmed that he has died. Reporting live from Timpanogos Regional Hospital, I'm Sarah Martin, KSL 5.
Sarah, thank you. And as you showed, people are wanting to show their support for Charlie Kirk, for his family, and wanting to condemn violence on behalf of Utahns. There will be a chance to do that coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. The House of Representatives is hosting a vigil for Charlie Kirk and for the events that happened today, 7 o'clock at the Capitol Rotunda.
And we are showing you a live look now.
So apparently they have a video of an individual running at the roof on top of the rooftop after Charlie Kirk. So I guess running to get away. I told y'all it was from a high vantage point. Damn. I mean, what are the odds that we actually get the real shooter? Because we already had one patsy. Jeez. So you got to look closely here. You can see somebody on the roof. It's very faint. But in this area, let me see if y'all can see my mouse. Oh, you can't see my mouse. Where you see this line where the glass connects, to the left of this line on top of the roof, you can see a small figure moving across the screen. Running. He took that shot and took the fuck off. Wow. Wow. I was not expecting that.
Here to show support for Charlie Kirk, who have shown up to show their love and support. They're here because they're so worried about this situation. They've told me that they have been longtime supporters of Charlie's, that they've looked to him, that he's brought them hope in the past. And so to come here, to stand here in the hot sun for a few hours even, some of them have been here for more than an hour, feels like nothing. You know, it feels like a tribute that is necessary and a tribute that has brought a little bit of hope to this dark, dark day. Very sad about the news to hear, confirmed by President Trump, that Charlie Kirk did die. We believe he passed here at Timpanogos Regional Hospital. Again, all appointments are closed. It's not clear yet why he was brought to.
So you have someone saying Charlie Kirk refused to let George Floyd rest in peace. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to mourn him. I will show him the same respect he showed George Floyd. Wow.
To this hospital. We know there are a few hospitals within about a 5-minute range of UVU, but we believe he was brought here based on the number of police and the law enforcement personnel that are here on site at Timpanogos Regional Hospital. If you have any appointments here today, possibly even tomorrow, definitely cancel those today, but check in before you come here tomorrow morning as well. Reporting live here in Orem, I'm Sarah Martin, KSL 5 News.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for that update and for the information for everybody else at that hospital. We've heard at least from one University of Utah, still open, but they will have an increased police presence for all of the classes and events that are still scheduled for the remaining of the week. As a father and a husband, my heart goes out to Erica, his children, and his whole family.
Yeah, the sentiments continue to pour in. Let's check back in with Andrew Adams, also there on the UVU campus. Andrew, what have you been, from your vantage point, what have you been seeing and experiencing right now?
Well, some interesting things, and albeit it's really like the guys in Army fatigues, basically SWAT gear, that are garnering all the attention. But low-key interesting is what we've been watching going on in this parking lot, which some officers, I believe, got into that pickup truck over there, and you see it driving that way. But basically, they're going like car to car. So, Stuart, if you can like point on me, but basically, some with their cell phones kind of going around the cars remaining in the parking lot. And then I don't know if they're recording video. I don't know if they're taking pictures, but maybe presumably they're thinking if there's not a shooter in custody, maybe one of these cars might have a connection. I don't know, but it makes you wonder what they were doing out in the parking lot.
So they still don't have a shooter in custody. All right, I'm going to play one more little clip of somebody giving their opinion on Charlie Kirk. So let's listen up to this brother here. He's breaking it down.
So Charlie Kirk just got smoked today on camera, and looking at the shot, I can tell it was supposed to be a headshot, but maybe the wind or his coordinates was just a little bit off. But that was a very, very clean shot. One of
That's what I just said. It was supposed to be a headshot they missed in his neck.
the best shots I have seen in a while. And I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, well, you taking up for violence and blah blah blah." But this is what this man has been doing with his time, with his life, and it kind of comes back to you. And it's funny because I didn't see anybody that was arrested wearing gang colors, no Crips, no Bloods, no MS-13. I didn't see a brown person there, you know. So it's just very telling. It's very telling who commit these kind of acts, and you know how life will come back at you. But yeah, Charlie Kirk is more likely dead. That was a clean shot. Yeah, that's crazy. I might be on RBN later. I might join. We'll see. But I'm definitely going to talk about this. To everybody out there, you know, be careful. Careful what you say. Life have a weird way of coming back to you, and always protect your neck.
Damn. So obviously, bruh did not like Charlie Kirk. We have a police scanner audio. Breaking news. We have a police scanner audio that identified the shooter. Breaking news. So they can't say he was this or he was that. Police scan audio. Let's listen up.
Maybe the CS building is just east of the library. He's wearing jeans, black shirt, black mask, long rifle.
So the shooter was identified.
Blue Honda Odyssey, no plate.
Blue Honda Odyssey, no plate.
35. And east 600 north.
There was one shot. We are staging at the front of the school by the roundabout.
Is on top of the building on the far north side, just east of the library, wearing jeans, black shirt, black vest. We are regional currently.
34 from Medic 35. Other victims. Break all incoming units. You guys can cancel. We just have the one victim.
Damn. All right. Yeah, so I showed you guys a video of somebody on the roof. Let's see. Yeah, so that video is circulating. Yeah, man, Charlie Kirk literally got completely whacked. Like whacked, bro. He like picked up the mic, put it down, and boom, whacked. Damn. They're saying who benefits from the assassination of Charlie Kirk? ? And they name a small country in the Middle East. They also said that same country, Charlie Kirk feared that same country might try and clap him if he spoke up against that certain country. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Charlie Kirk is dead. Turning Point USA just confirmed. So yeah, man, this is crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. Sheesh. Okay. Just more reports. Charlie Kirk shot dead. Damn, they saying I'll pray for Charlie Kirk as much as I pray for Palestine. 200 yards right in the jugular vein. Let's see. See what the news got for us. They ain't showing us shit right now.
Out knowing exactly what they were doing. It did look like they were photographing individual vehicles and going through and essentially sweeping this parking lot. And of course, these are left here much longer than a lot of people who cleared out a campus quite a while ago now. As you can see, things have quieted down here. I think we saw some students up over at this end milling around, but a lot of the students that were out here earlier have cleared. Understandably, it's a warm afternoon. I don't know the exact temperature, but certainly at least mid 80s, if not hotter, and that's taking a toll. In fact, I wanted to mention that a sheriff's vehicle came by, gave us a bottled water. I greatly appreciate that. It is a hot day out here. But again, it's interesting what investigative steps are taking place, while at the same time, it seems to be that there's an active effort going through, sweeping buildings. We've seen lots of people in SWAT uniforms going, as we understood, they were going room to room and even potentially leaving campus a little bit earlier. We saw a SWAT vehicles, something that I'm not sure if it was a Bearcat. I think that's what sometimes those armored vehicles are called, but it left at an accelerated pace. And then we saw some SWAT officers get into a black unmarked Jeep, also literally sped off. And so it makes you wonder what they were going to investigate at that time. But again, an investigation, at least to the lay eyes, leaves more questions than answers. But of course, they're doing what they can to get those very important answers right now.
Well, Andrew, what you've had to report today, a gesture of a bottle of water. Hang on to that. That's the positive thing and the thing you want to keep in mind on a day like today. Thank you.
All right, we want to check back in with Dan Ruscon, who has been standing by. We have been awaiting a press conference from the Utah Department of Public Safety, hoping to get some more answers. Let's go ahead and check in with him now. Dan?
Yeah, that's correct. We're inside an auditorium here on campus right now where a press conference is expected to take place. any minute now. We're just got basically about a 7-minute warning that the press conference will be starting here shortly. This is where we'll be happening up here. All the major players, of course, will be here for this press conference. We're expecting the governor to be showing up, along with also the FBI and the Department of Public Safety. So again, this is a case that's going to go international, of course. A lot of people wanting a lot of answers as to what went wrong here, what happened, and just a lot of fear, of course, on campus from students as far as what they saw and the trauma they experienced, and then also coming back to school, you know, what this is going to be like. And so, again, I think the main questions we want to be able to try and answer right now is, do they have any idea where this shooter may be at this time? Or if they have any indication as to if he's still on campus or not, or what they're finding and those kind of things. Also, as far as the security goes, I did talk to somebody from the UVU Public Affairs Department. They told me that Charlie had about 8 security officers or so, personal security officers with him, and then they also had UVU security officers there. And so what exactly, you know, obviously from the video that we see of what happened there, they weren't standing necessarily right next to him there, but he was open enough to where somebody could shoot and fire those gunshots. Now, where that gunfire came from is the other big question. Everyone we've been talking to here, nobody seems to have seen an actual gunman or somebody that actually fired that gun and where that shot came from. All they say is that they heard that gunshot go off and then they saw Charlie drop. So
all right, so the news is behind as hell. So if they identify a shooter, I'll come back on live later on. But yes, Charlie Kirk is confirmed dead, shot and killed at Utah Valley University. It's pretty much OV. It's pretty much OV. Everybody's pretty much talking about it right now. I gave my spiel on it. It looks like PBD streamed on it 55 minutes ago for 13 minutes. Yeah, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, very sad. Very sad. But like I said, man, dude had a lot of enemies. He was stoking a lot of flames. This is just, it's just crazy. We got to get a control of the violence from all sides in this country. I mean, it's just crazy, bro. The stories that I review every single day is very normal for me, but this one definitely hits hard. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream. I appreciate everybody for joining. And make sure you like the video, share the video, comment on the video immediately after the stream. That really helps with the algorithm. Share your opinion. Share your opinion. We did make some corrections throughout the stream, so I'm sure I'm going to get some angry comments. He's not the shooter. He's not the shooter. Yeah, we already corrected that, but we'll see. We'll see. And if they identify him today, I'll go back live. If not, then we'll follow the story because I got some other videos I need to upload for the premiere at 9 p.m. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody for joining the stream. You already know what it is, man. Hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat, support the channel in any way that you can. But I am about to sign off. This is Black Gen Z Mindset, aka BGZM News 17, aka Jenquavius Jackson, and we will send it off to Jenquavius Jackson to take us away. I appreciate everybody for joining the stream. RIP Charlie Kirk, gone too soon.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen,
we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Quavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dogs. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo.
Whoa.
Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Quavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. I'm Quavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Quavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
So it is what it is.